My name is Ryan Clausen, and at the beginning of the year, I set a goal to memorize 26 poems. Well, we're nearing the end of the first quarter, and I'm on track with 7 poems already memorized. But I wanted to prove that I'm not just cramming these the day before I film, but I'm actually committing them to long-term memory. So I'm going to recite all 7 poems that I've memorized so far without any edits. So poem number 1 is The Most of It by Robert Frost. He thought he kept the universe alone, for all the voice in answer he could wake was but the mocking echo of his own from some tree-hidden cliff across the lake. Some morning from the boulder-broken beach, he would cry out on life that what it wants is not its own love back in copy speech, but counter-love, original response. And nothing ever came of what he cried unless it was the embodiment that crashed in the cliff's talus on the other side, and then in the far distant water splashed. But after a time allowed for it to swim, instead of proving human when it neared, and someone else, additional to him, as a great buck it powerfully appeared, pushing the crumpled water up ahead, and landed pouring like a waterfall, and stumbled through the rocks with horny tread, and forced the underbrush, and that was all. Poem number 2 is A Noiseless Patient Spider by Walt Whitman. A noiseless patient spider I marked where it stood on a little promontory, isolated. Let's try that again. A noiseless patient spider I marked where on a little promontory it stood isolated, marked how to explore the vacant vast surrounding. It launched forth filament, filament, filament out of itself, ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, O my soul, where you stand, surrounded, surrounded in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them, till the bridge you will need be formed, till the ductile anchor hold, till the gossamer threads you fling catch somewhere, O my soul. Poem number 3 is Success is Counted Sweetest by Emily Dickinson. Success is counted sweetest by those who ne'er succeed. To comprehend a nectar requires sorest need. Not one of all the purple host who took the flag today can tell the definition so clear of victory as he, defeated, dying, on whose forbidden ear the distant strains of triumph burst, agonized and clear. Poem number 4 is If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about don't deal in lies, or being hated don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise, if you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the words you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build 'em up with worn-out tools, if you can make a heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe one word about your loss, if you can force the heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, Yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. That was a tougher one. Poem number 5 is Flower in the Crannied Wall by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Flower in the crannied wall, I pluck you out of the crannies and hold you here, root and all in my hand, little flower. But if I could understand what you are, root and all in all, I should know what God and man is. Poem number 6 is The Day by Theodore Spencer. The day was a year at first, when children ran in the garden. The day shrank down to a month when the boys played ball. The day was a week hereafter when young men walked in the garden. The day was itself a day when love grew tall. The day shrank down to an hour when old men limped in the garden. The day will last forever when it is nothing at all. And finally, poem number 7 is Surprised by Joy by William Wordsworth. Surprised by joy, impatient as the wind, I turned to share the transport. Oh, with whom but thee, deep buried in the silent tomb, that spot which no vicissitude can find? Love, faithful love, recalled thee to my mind, but how could I forget thee? Through what power, even for the least division of an hour, have I been so beguiled as to be blind to my most grievous loss? That thought's return was the worst pang that sorrow ever bore, save one only, when I stood forlorn, knowing my heart's best treasure was no more, that neither present time nor years unborn could to my sight that heavenly face restore. So those are the 7 poems that I've memorized so far. It's been a really awesome experience. I've enjoyed pushing myself to memorize these. And, as I mentioned at the beginning of the year, there's a John Adams quote where he says that you will never be alone if you have a poet in your pocket. And I have found that to be true. And what is the value of having a poet in your pocket? Well, these 7 poems, hopefully, have manifested, as I've shared them, that there are beautiful little pockets of wisdom and truth inserted into these poems. And to have these poems to refer to in moments of boredom or of hardship, they're little tokens of comfort and wisdom that I can draw from, that just adds a little joy and peace to my day. And so it's a practice I've enjoyed, and I look forward to the next quarter of the next 7 poems that I'll be memorizing and sharing with you. But thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for listening. I would love to know if there's a poem of these 7 that has spoke to you. Please comment what that is, if there's a poem that particularly resonated with you. But thanks so much for joining me, and I will catch you next time.